AI, superintelligence, can only go as far as we as individual human beings can evolve, both intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually. So I don't look at it as a way to be fearful or to think it's going to somehow replace everything and everyone. I do, however, think that because, of course, we're here to help support women founders and entrepreneurs that are growing their businesses, people that really want to make their expression of their purpose and their work more accessible to people, I think that utilizing these tools is a key factor in doing that. Welcome back to the Oracle on Purpose podcast. I'm your host, Leah Dunlap, and today we're talking about this theory of superintelligence and your soul. Now, there is a lot going on about AI and superintelligence and, what can you utilize AI to do? What is morally appropriate to use AI for? And also this ever kind of looming idea of some sort of superintelligence that will blow AI out of the water and become the panacea of knowledge for all of us to access. With that said, I have a hot take, if you will, on this theory. But first, I want to read something interesting. I'm going to read out loud. As I was looking into this, I came across this statement about superintelligence. So if you're like, you've never really heard the term, or you've heard it, but you're really not kind of sure what exactly it's referencing, here's what I found. And I'll tell you in a minute why it made me giggle. All right. Superintelligence is a hypothetical form of artificial intelligence, or AI, that would far surpass human cognitive capabilities in virtually all domains, including creativity, problem solving, and reasoning. Unlike narrow AI, which is designed for specific tasks, a superintelligent AI could process vast amounts of information instantly, develop new scientific theories, and make complex decisions beyond human comprehension. It is a hypothetical concept that doesn't exist yet, but is theorized to be a potential future stage of AI development. Here is what made me giggle. When I typed in superintelligence and tell me more about it, this popped up. What is funny about it is that it popped up as, and I quote, an AI overview. Here is, I think, the riddle, right? Here's the rub, if you will. We have artificial intelligence, and it has been around for a long time in a lot of different functions. It has just become so commonplace now, right, that it's almost ubiquitous, like it's everywhere. Now, what cracked me up about reading this was like, okay, so here's AI telling me about basically what will be its predecessor in theory. And then adding at the end of that statement that it is still a hypothetical. Also, if hearing that makes you kind of clutch your pearls or have that sky is falling feeling, I want to just give you some solace in this one statement, which is no matter what technology creates, it cannot surpass the soul. It cannot surpass the very thing it lives within. And what do I mean by that? Like, we are not separate from our souls, from that universal source of everything, God, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. Most of us, especially those of you watching me, would definitely feel connected to something greater than themselves, as it were. The interesting thing is we created AI, right? We developed it as humans. And therefore, it's within our purview to build it and grow it. However, it will never outgrow us. It will never outgrow humanity, because ultimately, humanity is breathed through us as us, right? We are the ultimate vehicle for knowledge and inspiration. We are individually and as a collective whole, the thing that is producing these results. And so we have to feed it, which means it comes from us, which means that even if, as you are thinking about utilizing AI, I believe that it actually can be used as a powerful tool to create ease in your work, right? Efficiency. and to free you up to actually use the one thing that cannot be reproduced outside of yourself, which is your unique soul, spirit expression. That is beautiful. What if you could tap into the law of attraction with precision and power on your terms? I'm Leah Dunlap, and in my audiobook, Power Up the Law of Attraction, I give you the no-fluff blueprint to create a life of purpose, prosperity, and peace. Ready to stop manifesting by accident and start creating with intention? Download Power Up the Law of Attraction now on Audible. Now, back to the show. Intrinsically impossible to recreate. And that is a great thing. Because I think it is right? It's both and. It is a incredibly powerful tool. I have no doubt. And I would say that what they're calling superintelligence will probably show up faster than we expect, by, the year 2026, 27. These tools will rapidly continue to evolve through the people who are creating them and feeding them information and programming them, right? Let's be sure. In even that sense of like auto programming that you feel like you experience with AI really comes from what your input is. What you as the individual are inputting into a screen to get a reflection or a response. And it is an intelligence gatherer, right? And it is now being trained to have a more humanistic expression. And ultimately, it will only go as far as we can ourselves evolve. Let me say that again. AI, superintelligence, can only go as far as we as individual human beings can evolve, both intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually. So I don't look at it as a way to be fearful or to think it's going to somehow replace everything and everyone. I do, however, think that, because of course we're here to help support women founders and entrepreneurs that are growing their businesses, people that really want to make their expression of their purpose and their work more accessible to people. I think that utilizing these tools is a key factor in doing that. Knowing what the capabilities of some of these, even the current artificial intelligence, tools and resources, knowing what the capabilities are, knowing how to use them, knowing what to put in to get what you want out of them is important. I started in computer programming in 1984 when computers were just newly born into the common world. And I say that because that was in my high school, right? So we just were starting to become aware of the power of computing. I'm a person who also loves the idea of what is possible and capable through these machines. And I still know, as I did then, that they are tools and resources. Allow ourselves the chance to fall behind when we fear them or when we are unclear about how to get what we want out of them. But as any resource, any tool, any computer program that you have, any online resource that you have to know what you're looking to get out of it. And you have to trust, ultimately, in my estimation, you have to learn to trust your own inner knowing to look at what you see as the results of this information and choose and make a choice and make decisions, right? So even if it gives you what you might think is like the coolest, greatest, best next thing to do, ultimately, you as the individual get to choose what you decide to do about it. So I hope that this encourages you to look at this idea of superintelligence not as something to be afraid of, not as something to avoid, right? Or certainly not anything to ignore, more to be encouraged in communion with the work that you do. In other words, how can you utilize and leverage the efficiency of these tools to get your unique message out, to get your work, whatever it is, out to more people in a faster and more efficient way, in a more accessible way, right? How can you get out of your own way? Because sometimes that's part of it too, right? If we're talking about copywriting or building websites or even marketing in some ways. How do we allow ourselves to kind of see things, right, from our audience or our client's perspective? I think those are things that this kind of intelligence can really help us learn from the collective information faster. And with that, gain more traction in what we're doing in the world so that more people can see, have, and be what they need to be in the world without that limiting structure of delay, if you will. So keep that in mind. I think it's an important piece of this evolution we're having in that market of technology, that it's important to understand it. It's important to investigate it, figure out where it works in what you're doing and how you're reaching out to people, and make sure that ultimately you remember and don't give up your own authority, your own authenticity as well. Like, just because, someone else is using a template or a format and it comes back to you through your, discussions with some sort of artificial intelligence, remember that ultimately when people show up in your space, they're going to meet you. So it better sound like you. It better be true to what you believe, right? I think once people are much more aware of how to engage with these tools and do it in a way that actually allows them to do more, right, with less time, and still stay true to who they are and what they're doing in the world, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be amazing. And for anyone and I have talked to people who feels like this is taking away your job or making it difficult or making it too easy for people just to ask, copy questions, for example. If they don't know the questions to ask the AI tool, they're going to not get the best results, period. So being previously, let's say, someone that sells copywriting to people, you can show them how to engage with these tools and create copy. You can also teach them that, or you can do it for them in a way that helps you speed up the process. But altogether, I don't think this is about losing out. I think if we are smart, we understand that this is an opportunity, and the possibilities of what can happen when we actually embrace it are incredible. So ultimately, I would say still be who you are, still take advantage of what your own soul is nudging you to do and create and be, and utilize not only the current AI resources, but any future AI resources, including the soon to be perhaps superintelligence AI, to do more of what you're meant to do here in the world, because that is ultimately the gift you have to give, and only you can give it. All right. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time on the Oracle on Purpose podcast.